Go.
Welcome to the North Metro Now podcast. We're here again, episode 3, based in the library here at North Metropolitan TAFE. We've had a few adventures recently that...
You're so frazzled. You haven't even said your name yet.
I'm Alan Milne.
And I'm Connor McBride. And over there is Bailey. He's not going to say much.
And we have Luke as our technician for today.
Oh, he's on the actual camera shot now.
My God.
It's funny, he's slowly been upgrading through the weeks. He first started off on the floor.
No, he actually first started off under the table.
No, but he officially started on the floor. And then he worked his way up onto the desk. And he had his own camera for a little while. And now he's sharing it with you. So technically, I reckon Luke is at the same level as Bailey now.
When does he go? What is his next level of upgrade? Is he going to get like a throne?
The ceiling.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're just going to hang him up there.
Duct tape him to the ceiling. And then...
on that note,
let's start North Metro Now. Episode 3 we're at.
So last week we were discussing... Oh, not last week. 2 weeks ago, we were discussing a locker hunt that we want to organise.
Yeah. What is the progress on that?
So
what have we been doing the past 2 weeks? Let's discuss that first of all.
Oh, yes. So we went on a big day out. We tried to unsuccessfully show what Perth has to offer. You'll see a couple clips of that or a highlight of that.
No, we're going to have an edit that we're going to include in this package, and then we're going to have a full version that we're going to upload.
You're ruining the movie magic.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm frazzled after it. I just got to tell you.
We're all very sick.
And we've got a few articles that we're going to discuss today as well. We've got SkillsWest Expo. That's something new. And University Open Days that we're going to talk about. Emily's going to join us for that. And then she's also going to talk about why did he steal my pen?
I need it.
He's racist.
For what? You don't even have a piece of paper in front of you.
I want your paper, please. Thanks.
What are we going to talk about?
Ask politely next time.
We're talking about cheap student parking as well.
Cheap student parking.
Yep.
Proposed cheap student parking. We said that we're going to have an interview this week. We'll discuss that later on.
Yep.
And then we're going to play a game.
Yep.
Because we love games.
We do.
And because we're man-childs.
I mean, do you ever grow up? Like, one thing I've learned about being an adult, you never grow up.
Yeah, you never just... I'm nearly 19, and
I thought you were like 12.
Yeah, no, I'm 12.
He's still 12.
I thought you were 6.
Physically and mentally.
I'm 3, nearly 6.
Anyway, with that, let's get into what we're actually talking about today. Let's do our first segment of the day.
Yeah, so we're updating on the locker hunt. We've been pretty busy. I've been on film shoots. You've had OBs. We did the big day out. So I think the only thing we've managed to do by now is buy padlocks.
Have we even done that?
We haven't done that. So in this week's episode, down below in the show notes, we're going to have codes. And with those codes, we're going to put it around lockers around TAFE. We're going to put some goodies and some fake goodies, some surprise ones.
We're going to have the hot sauce in there. We've been itching to give away the Super Saiyan hot sauce that I won in my Hot Wings challenge last episode. We've also got the VR headsets as well, courtesy of Game City. And yeah, Bailey, good work there. What else can we put in there? I can put my dignity.
We'll put stickers. We'll put a bunch of memorabilia.
Stickers. Those who are at North Metropolitan TAFE might have noticed that there is
plastered with crap everywhere.
Just North Metro Now everywhere. We have gone, and we can relay this on from last episode as well. We have gone from kind of having a cult following and, only the people that we talk about North Metro Now to know about North Metro Now. Now everyone knows about North Metro Now because it's
better or for
constantly
worse.
In your face.
Yes.
So we've got posters as well. If you guys want to get involved, www.northmetronow.com
or alamiln at flathousemedia.com or northmetronow at gmail.com. Either one.
You can also, if you see us in the street, you can write what you want to do on North Metro Now, or write a segment idea for us, fold it up and throw it at us in a paper airplane.
We will always catch it, no matter where we are.
And we will judge you on your folding skills. If you see Bailey, you can even wrap the paper around a brick and then throw it through his front window.
I think we really do have ADHD, Connor, because we've gone off track.
The point of this segment is that the locker hunt, we still haven't set up yet.
But it will be in the show notes, or the details will be in the show notes.
And then next week we're going to reveal, the week after we're going to reveal the actual locker locations. So
okay, yeah. So moving on,
basically we haven't done anything. Is what we're trying to say.
We're very lazy.
www.northmetro.now.
What did the broadcast students set up at the Perth Exhibition Centre on the weekend?
This is something we're going to have to call Emily upon to discuss this as well. She's written the article. Yeah. Oh God, we're so prepared.
Technical issues. We don't have a chair.
Just throw up the technical difficulties. What's that thing called?
Can we afford that? I don't think we can afford
the service
graphics.
Interruption thing.
That costs too much.
Does it?
I'll just.
Emily, oh my God.
Hello,
How are you?
surprise.
Guys, this
I'm
is
good,
Emily
thank you.
Plester. Say hi.
Hi again.
Again?
Yeah, I said hi and you were just ignoring me. So
Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Let's try that again. Emily, oh my
Hi,
God.
how are you?
Clap track,
Emily's one of the major organisers for pretty much everything North Metro Now related.
Yeah, she actually holds the title for the very first article that's uploaded on North Metro Now.
Well done.
Which we'll be discussing that article, in fact, after this.
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to talk about now is over, it was like last week, we set up a stall at one of these education expos.
Yeah.
And what it basically is an excuse to farm high school kids for like 3 to 4 hours.
Or outreach.
Yeah, or
no, it's to educate them on what they'll be doing in the future if they're interested in the course.
But
like,
what it
helps them
actually
choose what they're going to do for the rest of their life.
what it actually is it's a farm.
No.
And it's a free-for-all frenzy to see who can get the most amount of free things.
Are universities there as well? Like, so all the education.
Universities are there.
Okay.
So there's the big hitters, Murdoch, ECU. Curtin was there, right?
No.
Oh, really?
Well, that's the thing. Initially, the Careers Expo had so many more stalls. Like when I first went in year 9, there was it was mainly universities, and TAFE had this tiny little corner.
Back in my day.
This is why we outsource to the experts, so we can get these sort of opinions.
But,
I've never been to an education expo.
Well, I was in year 9, so it was a while ago, probably about 5 years. But
Wow, she's so old.
excuse you.
You're like Sensei Exhibition Expo.
I've only been to 2, so
That's the most knowledge we have.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. But it was mainly it was heavily university based. Like UWA was there, Murdoch was there, ECU, Curtin, Notre Dame, and they had stalls. Department based, they'd have a stall for their arts and humanities section of their course. They'd have a stall for their sciences. It was just there was so much more information on unis. Whereas this year, past tense. It seemed to be heavily TAFE based.
Yeah,
So
half of this exhibition room was just TAFE.
yeah.
Right?
So,
And have you ever been to an exhibition, education expo?
unfortunately, I haven't.
Oh,
I feel like
okay.
I'm
Well,
missing
then
out.
you're just pointless
I'll just leave.
for this then. You've been to a university open day. at least.
Yes.
This is kind of that, but it's all of the unis kind of come in and they boast to see who's got the best.
It sounds very
shit.
competitive.
Well, I don't know. Did it seem competitive to you?
No, because the whole point of the expo is to give information about the course. Sure, it is advertising, but it's not extreme propaganda or farming like you say it is.
Well,
The
you
army,
say
the army
that.
sits there and they have
The army's different.
I was going to
They go,
say
"Come
that
join
exact
us."
point. It's not just the universities coming to this. There were military. There was an exhibition because we have things where you could get up and you can operate a broadcast camera and stuff, and you can go through our truck and whatever. If you're new to the podcast, I'm a broadcast student. You're an ex-broadcast
Yep.
student. We're mainly broadcast students here.
future.
See, the thing about
Yeah.
the army being there, it is important because they offer a program where they will pay for your education if you help out with them for a couple years.
The way they were selling it was that they were like, hey, come and sit in our Humvee and clock a gun and pull the trigger and everything.
Really?
Yeah, no. And you would stand next to it and you would hear like this click, 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 click. And all these kids sitting in like, wow, I'm going to join the army and stuff. It reminded me of that Simpsons episode where they're like advertising the video game to all the school kids.
Yeah.
And then they're like, and this isn't actually a video game. It's real life. And then they go on to become a boy.
and Bart enlists in the army at age 10.
Oh, is that the
Yeah, and
episode
then
I'm thinking of?
it is, and then he like Marge was like, I'm gonna chop off your
Wow.
I feel like I'm behind on my
Right.
Simpsons lore here. The in-depth.
No, you've
Simpsons
just got a
lore.
memory disorder. But getting back to the exhibition expo, it wasn't just universities here as well. It's what are you
It's a
gonna do?
careers expo. It's not education like you said, because there are other things there.
What was
right?
the
careers
official
and
title?
it's
SkillsWest
the career,
Expo.
it's
Career-
the
SkillsWest
SkillsWest
Careers
Expo.
Expo.
But like it's all about mainly like helping you find the course that's right for you in the future and helping you find your pathway. Like it's got things for work experience, it's got things about student super, it's got insurance, it's got police, it's got the army, it's got any possible. The whole point of it is to show the amount of pathways that you can go down and help you find that through information.
Not every possible.
Nearly
pathway.
every. Well, like you've got TAFE, you've got uni, you've got the army, you've got the police.
Where was the stall where I just sit on my ass and do nothing but play Fortnite for 2 years?
That's the thing. That is not
think
really
you
a
need to advertise
pathway.
It's across the road at Centrelink.
Yeah, that's not a pathway.
Well, it is.
So
but-
these education institutes, they have to pay to get into this.
yeah.
Yes.
Lots
Big
of
bucks.
money.
How much did TAFE pay?
TAFE contributed, I believe it was $10,000. But for $10,000, they got half the convention centre and effectively had a stall for every single course that they offer.
But you see, like, we throw out a number like that, $10,000. We don't know where that money was going towards because we had our full outside broadcast truck in there, there, which
That-
means the
That $10,000 probably contributed towards banners, tables, advertising, various products. Like I think the
Yeah, but a
beauty
lot of
students, the
those-
fashion students.
a lot of those banners we
like-
already have at TAFE.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But
Like,
also, like the fashion students, they had a thing where you could design your own tote bag, right, and take it home
really?
with you.
Oh my God,
that
that's so cute.
$10,000 would have gone towards paying for that to make sure that that was an activity that people could do. It's like $10,000 is not just to hire out half of the convention center,
And all
it
the
was
free
also,
Mentos.
Yeah, and all the free Mentos. It was
there was a lot of Mentos. There was probably
Yeah.
$10,000 worth of free
yeah,
Mentos.
like
at
it's
this
to
thing.
print out pens, print out business cards, flyers, everything.
And then you think about the amount of students that would join from something like this. Like in my class alone, I think 3 people found out about broadcast from the SkillsWest Expo.
Well, you see, we won't know until years down the line, when these kids actually start joining up to TAFE and whether they're like, oh, yeah. And I'm not too sure if there's something that you fill out when you first start TAFE, like how did you find out about this course,
Yeah, because I went last year and they had the whole boom radio set up for is it Leaderville or Mount Lawley? Leaderville.
Our good
and-
friends.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do boom radio. And I was like, yeah, I'll see you next year. And I put that as my second preference. I put diploma first. Got into the diploma and it
I
actually locked
see.
me out. Didn't let me into the other courses.
Wait, what? You're not good enough for Boom Radio?
No.
Is that
'cause
why you're
I
here?
had 3 preferences. I had one was the diploma in film and television. Second one was the diploma of radio broadcasting, and the third one was diploma of mass communications. Right? I got accepted into the film and television one, and I had to accept that. I wasn't allowed to hit the other ones. It like locked me out of them. It was really weird.
Anyway, what we can basically get from this is there's the article that's online. Hopefully, by the time that this episode comes out, Emily's taken a really good angle with it because the stuff that you sort of take from her article doesn't just apply to education expos. You can also use that at university open days. It's tips on how to tackle your university open day or education expo. I'm not too sure. We were discussing it before. Does TAFE have an open day?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
TAFE is one of the few institutions that doesn't. It's mainly just the universities, but like
Probably
this
because
is the
we
time
spend
of year.
$10,000
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, but if you think of the
Yeah.
ECU Open Day budget and of all the things that they've got there, that's going to cost more than $10,000.
Gee, the ECU Open Day. I remember something where we We went to that. Did we go to that?
Segway.
Yes, but that's too early in the rundown.
So there's 2 points I want to get to with this SkillsWest Expo. One, I find it this is with the ECU Open Day as well. I find it kind of weird that they get students who are paying to be taught for these, courses to then advertise TAFE.
Oh yeah, no, especially because we spend the entire time going, oh gee, well this is kind of
Yeah.
Like none of the students were enjoying themselves. That were actually.
I feel like they should be hiring.
student.
I feel like they should be hiring actual staff for some.
Well,
of this.
there were lecturers there, but something tells me that was outside of their pay rate.
Yeah.
Unless that's where part of the $10,000 was going, but we just don't know. That's the other thing.
Well, the way that their pay rate works, they don't really have specified hours necessarily. They don't get paid per hour like we do. They get they get paid annually, and if they're expected to rock up somewhere, they have to rock up. It's just what they're paid to do. So technically, they are kind of being paid.
Okay.
Gee. Wow.
So, would you say that the SkillsWest Expo is helpful to like students that actually want to find out more information?
Yeah. I actually made like a lot of my initial career choices based off information I got at the SkillsWest Expo. Like, got to make sure that you actually talk to people, do the activities, read the information that you get, because it really does contribute to your future. Like, you're paying for this, you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you don't go to a SkillsWest Expo, then you'll just end up unemployed.
No, you go to their website and look at the course information.
Or that. We should move on.
Yes.
Is what we should do. We should move on to the other article, which we've also got from you, Emily. The very first article, and it's taken us a while to get to this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it has.
Would you like to, in fact, introduce it, Alan?
Yeah. So around TAFE, because North Metropolitan TAFE is placed directly in the middle of Perth, parking is a nightmare. It is horrendous. We don't have what universities have, which is cheap kind of mass parking. So Emily, God bless her, has gone through, done the research on the local parking spots around Perth and Northbridge.
Some amazing research as well.
And found out the exact pay and kind of worked out that... I'll let Emily describe it a bit more since it is her article.
It's all on www.northmetronow.com. So... take it away.
Well, okay, in terms of like research, what I did is I looked at the cheapest parking available and then got a price based off 6 hours and 30 minutes of parking, because I was just generally assuming classes from like 9 to 4.
I imagine that's about the average. Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah. And so like the cheapest one is a little bit far away. You've got to walk for about 12 minutes to actually get to TAFE. So really that's probably more like a 8:45 to 4:30 or whatever. But
I'll quickly explain what you've done here. You've written the article, and then at the bottom we've got a bunch of graphs and documents that actually details different parking, not just for our Northbridge campus, but also for other North Metro TAFE campuses, so you can kind of compare and contrast the different ones. And it's really helpful. I've used this. We even used some of the knowledge in this when deciding our big day out route. So,
and something I found interesting.
When?
Rose Street.
Something
that was
I found...
that was the closest place.
Yeah, exactly. And the only reason why we knew about it was because of this article. At least me.
And I thought you only found about it at that car park because of the VR headsets.
Oh yeah.
Well, when we put them on, and you were just like, "Whoa,
Which,
like all three of us, we put them. Whoa, that's high up."
Which also we have to give Emily credit. Another thing that she's done for this show, which take all the 360 photos. Is there anything you haven't done for us?
I
Yep,
don't
that
know,
answer
actually.
right there, pretty much.
Episode 1.
Well, okay, I did some of the organising for that. I just wasn't there for
good
it.
point.
Something I found interesting from this article is with City of Perth parking, you can pay for a yearly kind of, you can pay upfront to then park every day for, well, not free, but you pay the upfront sum and you don't need to get tickets. Yeah. And you found out that...
Because generally with TAFE, we're only, like most of us only have classes either 4 days a week. I calculated for 5 days a week, but even with even with parking 5 days a week,
because you're still 12. So.
It actually works out to be cheaper to still pay each day rather than pay the full amount unless you're coming in on weekends.
So maybe it would be beneficial for lecturers or...
Yeah, lecturers I reckon it would be beneficial for, but for students it's not worth it.
But you know how they do that lecturer parking
They
situation?
have a raffle, don't they?
They've literally, it's pull names out of a hat, and if you're lucky, you get reserve bay 12. Congratulations, so-and-so. You get to park there, and then they go, pay us $1,500 for the licensing fee.
Oof.
Which the licensing fee just completely baffles me, because apparently if you're a place of education or a place of worship, it comes under the exact same clause. I'd have to find the document again when I was doing my research for this, but $1,500 is what you have to pay per parking space in the city, in the North Metro area, especially in Northbridge or in Perth City, which is why you see some of the crazy parking fees, is because a lot of these parking places are trying to pay off that $1,500 plus maintenance whatsoever. But if you're a place of worship, that's why the Metro Now Church over there doesn't have... it's got so much free parking in front of it. If you're going to church, of course.
It's blocked off.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a man of God, you get free parking as well. That's written
woman
into
of
the
God.
10 Commandments.
Is it? Is
No, it's
that
not.
the 11th?
You know
is it?
nothing about religion,
it's
so do
10.5.
not make those claims.
Thou shalt have free parking licensing fees. Anyway.
It's in the New Testament.
With the parking, we tried to get in contact with City of Perth Parking.
This is something that follows on from last week as well. If you listen to the pod, we talked about how we wanted to be a guild, and then we moved on to parking, and how we wanted to rain upon all our listeners free parking.
Yep.
You know, as per the 10.5 commandment.
Unfortunately, they're extremely hard to get a hold of, from what I can tell.
We've messaged a lot of people. We actually got a response.
We did, but he has not gotten back to me yet.
Yeah. So that's
how do you
why
get a
Emily's
response?
here.
If it
And then not
helps,
get back.
like when I first contacted him, it took him like 3 weeks to actually contact me again. So expect a response in 3 weeks.
So should we maybe... We said last week we'll have this dude on from CPP this week. 3 weeks from now, maybe. Maybe episode 4. We'll
Or
return
14, who knows?
We're not going to do an episode 14.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, jeez.
We're only going to do 10 episodes and then I'm out of here,
Yeah.
man. You can stay here, but I'm out of here.
I'll be the only one.
Welcome to Alan Now. Oh my god, my back hurts. Oh my god, my stomach. Oh my god, I'm falling over.
It'd be better content.
Give me coffee. Oh my god.
So hopefully we'll get him on the show at some point. We've got a list of questions that we want to ask him.
Yeah, if you're listening to this CPP,
Please get in contact.
we love you.
We want to
We
talk to you.
use your services all the time. I'm using CPP right now.
Same. I think we all are.
And how much are you paying?
Too much.
Same.
Well, we're
I will
actually
be
paying
up-
$16, and it's a
Yeah.
5-minute walk from campus.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you brought that up, Bailey, because you probably got that from the document that's sitting in front of you right now.
Correct.
We're going to play a game.
We are. It's called The Parking Price is
Do
Right.
you want to play a game?
We'll probably have some music
Yeah. The parking price is right. So, how does the price is right work?
Bailey, no.
It's a brain fart.
You had one job. You haven't talked at all this entire podcast, and then you got to do your big introduction to your Grant Daniel moment, and then you just completely screwed it.
is Family Feud. He's like 5
Not anymore.
He's
Rest
like
in peace, Family Feud.
5'3".
So what
Yeah,
we're
it got
gonna do?
replaced with some other show, isn't it? Didn't it?
The
It's
parking
pointless.
price is right.
Yeah, well, we can be its replacement.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you the location, and all three of you have to guess
I'll turn off my phone then, so I don't see it.
what the fee is for it, and the person who's closest.
So this is the daily fee.
This is the daily fee for the what is it?
The
6
6 hours and 30
hours.
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So Emily's already got the clear advantage in this.
Well, if it helps, I haven't actually read the article in like 4 weeks.
Which
You wrote
is
it, though.
why I decided this was a strategic advantage from
I'm
us
sure,
on this
I'm
day.
sure, yeah.
You know, I knew exactly what we were doing, making sure that we did
You
episode
planned it
3
all
parking.
ahead. You planned it all ahead.
Oh, I think.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think I did.
The cogs are turning.
The cultural centre. It's an 8-minute walk from TAFE. How much is it for the day?
Which one's the cultural centre parking?
Where is the cultural centre parking?
Oh my.
Is that the
Is it just on the
in
street?
the train station?
Oh, yeah,
None
I
of it is
believe-
street parking.
I believe
Street parking was a
it's-
different part of that document.
It would be
because they said you
the-
could only park for
It would
a
be the
maximum
one.
of 2
It's
hours.
the one we threw the milk off of.
Don't say that. You're not allowed to.
I don't even know where that
I'll
was.
bleep that. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna
That's the
say
one- we threw
18
the
bucks.
Off.
Okay.
So what was your answer to that?
I'm gonna say 18 bucks. I have no idea.
Alan
I can't remember that one.
I'm gonna go 16.
and Connor.
14.
Alan's right on the money.
Oh yeah.
$16. And how much of a walk from TAFE is that?
8 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you walk from the cultural centre to TAFE every day?
Yeah.
No, but I walk from the state library to. Oh no, but when I
Catch
do
the train?
Yeah.
No, but
You
I
know, like
power
a-
walk. I've got some long legs, so you have to take off some time for me because I power walk and I've got my podcast in my ear.
Do you
and I'm
walk like that?
Yeah, I walk exactly like.
Have you
For
ever-
our
do you get
audio
mugged?
listeners,
Do you get
I
mugged a lot?
walk like an 80-year-old woman.
Do you get
47 Newcastle Street's a 12-minute walk. How much is it?
13.
Whoa. Can we get just a slower version of that? Just
47 Newcastle Street. It's a
Content.
12-minute walk from campus. How much is it?
I'm gonna say $14 on this one.
you just stole her answer.
No, I said 13.
Yeah.
Oh, you said 13.
Keep up. Keep up.
Oh my god, I'm really not. I need another coffee. I'm drinking aroma coffee. That's why.
Not
How much is it, Connor?
$12. Wait, this or the the coffee or the parking?
The parking.
$12.
Right. Emily already knew she was right. It's 13.
It's the one I know. It's like the one that is like cheapest and the ones that are closest I know.
Connor, you're disqualified from this game now. It's a tiebreaker now.
Emily,
Alan and
where
Connor.
do you park normally?
I mean, Alan and Emily.
I normally park at State Library because I'm lazy.
Okay, I thought you park in front of someone's yard.
Oh no,
That's at
wait,
the
normally
train
as in
station.
like when I
Yeah.
don't come into like drive all the way into the city, I park like a couple roads away. Like there's like a main road between Warwick Station and then I cross that and then I walk through a little park and there's like another street and if I can park there completely free.
You cheating bastard.
It's like a 2-minute walk
There
from,
is-
from my car to the train station. It's perfectly fine.
There is a parking game that we're all playing, and right now Emily has just like
Beating us all.
tripped us over at the starting line.
Yeah, like
She
seriously,
spiked
the
our
best
Gatorade.
option for parking is to either park at a train station if you're coming into TAFE or park like near a train station where
When
it's
I'm a
free.
big
Or
boy and I get
Badlands.
my P plates in October,
You're not going to get your P's in October.
I feel like every
gonna
single
do the
episode of this
same thing.
podcast, we've talked about Bailey's driving at some point. It's just a reoccurring theme at this point.
It's our joke. It's
Okay.
it's that and Shut Up Bailey. That's all we got so far.
tiebreaker. Let's go with St. John's Square. It's a 3-minute walk from TAFE. It's just that way somewhere. I
That's
think.
so undescriptive. for
Behind the
our
nostalgia
audio.
box.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
We've
closest one.
played-
Hey,
Yeah, it's 3 minutes from
I'm
TAFE.
going to say
I'm out of
$15.
this.
I'm gonna say 18.
This one's really expensive. That's what I remember.
I remember this one being pricey.
So what did you say, Alan?
I said 15.
And Emily said.
I said 18.
And she wins. Ding 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 ding.
Wow.
Because there's one that's like $33, but I can't remember where that is.
$33 is City Place. It's
That's it,
$33.
yeah.
Hold on, let me do the maths real quick. So if
Who
it,
would have thought that the person who wrote the graph and wrote all of the stuff for this article won the game relating to the article?
18 times 5, if you come into TAFE 5 days a week, that's $90.
Whoa. Can you imagine hemorrhaging just $90
But see, then if you just catch the train, it's like $2
for parking?
for parking. So
And
so that would be like that's $10, right? And then adding your train fees, which is probably like another $10 for
Yeah,
the week.
but also
maybe
train
15.
fees are slowly going up, and if you get to fill out the Smart
Yeah.
Rider form for
It's
your
still
territory
cheaper than
Smart
parking.
Rider, like I have, you still hemorrhage like $30 a week.
It's still cheaper than parking. 30 is better than 90.
What I reckon we should all do is we should bike into TAFE.
I'll-
Just every day.
I'll come from
I
Kwinana, mate.
cannot bike into TAFE.
Let's have a look at how long it takes me to ride my bike.
52 weeks in a
And
year,
then add
right?
15
Yeah.
minutes from my
Times
place to
90,
his.
that's $4,680.
Yeah. Well, quick math, sir. Well
Yeah.
done. But
It's going to take
human
me
calculator.
50 minutes to ride my bike.
That's not too bad.
And I have to go on the freeway.
50 minutes.
Bikes aren't allowed on the freeway.
You must
No
pedal.
bikes on the freeway.
No, you
No.
must pedal so quickly if you can do that in 50 minutes.
Would it be cheaper to actually rent a place in the city than
This is
actually
what-
driving in?
That's actually a potential thing.
This is what I
Like-
was
Yeah.
thinking. Per square meter, I reckon you'll find that an apartment in Northbridge is cheaper.
That's right. Yeah.
Then this is a theory that I was throwing up when we
Well,
first started writing the article.
yeah.
Per square meter, and I'm not too sure if someone from the North Metro in our audience wants to do the math on this. This is maybe
Well,
something that we can challenge our viewers
Back
to
when
do.
I was initially looking for apartments, when I was like young, and like I can so move out so quickly. No.
Which is what
Ooh.
everyone goes through when
Yeah.
you're 18 or in
There
Emily's
is-
case 11.
There was an apartment like a 30-minute walk south of here, so it was towards it was near somewhere, St. George's Terrace or something. But that was $195 a week.
Whoa, that's real cheap. That's
It's a small one-person apartment, and actually no, it doesn't count. It didn't come with a parking space.
You just build a car elevator into your apartment and then just park your car into your apartment every
Yeah.
day. You use
Good
it
luck convincing
that
your
way-
landlord.
No, that way your car becomes your coffee table. It becomes your form of entertainment.
And your bed.
And also it's probably quieter than pets and kids.
On that note,
Yeah, let's move on. I fairly certain we're behind.
Yeah, we've got
Ahead.
oh, are we?
Yeah, no, you skipped over
A lot of the
some
things
stalls
are.
and free things, and then we kind of started parking early.
well, we do have a lot on the big day
So
out.
I guess
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
can-
I gave
And I
you
want to
15 minutes
discuss
for big day out.
my article as well.
is next.
Yeah, I'm going to discuss
allocated-
this now. Moving on
Yep.
to our next segment, I've written an article again. I write. Can you believe it?
I cannot.
no.
You know how to write? Who taught you?
The question is how decently.
You're not a part of this anymore. You can shut up. Moving on. I've written an article and it's going to be up on the website hopefully by next week. And in it, I talk about how boring Perth is and how underdeveloped everything seems to be.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I've lived in Perth for a little while. And it seems like everyone has got the exact same opinion, at least our generation, that Perth isn't very interesting.
I find it coming from the older generations a lot as well. They're just like,
you really?
yeah, a lot of people find Perth to be depressing as well. There's actually,
We're just ripping into it now.
well, I'm born here. Perth is great. Come visit us. We've got nice beaches, but don't live here unless you want to mine.
No, but I think of it differently. I think of Perth as a great place to live, but you need to have money to travel and leave Perth, which is why a lot of people go to Bali a lot here.
Yeah, but that's if you are middle class or upper middle class.
Yeah, but if you're able to get a FIFO job, where you're just constantly traveling, Perth is good. But if you stay here for more than 5 years, you get the itch.
There is actual medical studies done on Perth and like the depressive nature of it.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Perth is actually like known to be like cause depression in people.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Yeah, it's like driving up and down the highway. It's the urban sprawl of Perth.
That's what it is. Oh, I thought I was just normally depressed, but I'm actually
No, it's actually like a real studied thing.
Perth rest.
I feel like part of the development problem in Perth is just the urban sprawl. It's just we're too wide. You need a car. If you don't have a car, you're screwed. If you don't have money, you're screwed.
And also, we're technically one of the most isolated cities in the world.
We are the most isolated city in the world.
But now we got Bunbury and now we got...
It doesn't count. It's a titty. It's a town.
Bleep that.
Wow. What the fuck? Your little Freudian slip for the podcast.
Town. Titty.
Stop saying it.
You're done. Barely. Just shut up. Okay, shut up. But on that, so much entertainment doesn't come to Perth.
Yeah,
I was on Titty Tech and
Freudian slip again.
I was on Ticket Tech and I was looking at all the things in Australia that happen and, all around Australia. These are Australian tours, remember. This is things that have been highlighted as, oh, we're coming to Australia. Hope to see you guys there. This is what your average celebrity thinks of touring Perth, okay? Panic at the Disco, East Coast only. Smash Mouth, East Coast only. Wu-Tang Clan, one show. And I think it's in either Sydney or Melbourne, right? Bon Jovi, East Coast only. Kesha, East Coast only. Gene Simmons, right? The Kiss guy with the long tongue. I love how I have to explain that to our younger audience. East Coast only. And Brockhampton, who I'm sure some of our hip listeners will...
Hip and up with it.
Yeah, people who wear the Supreme logo a lot and, probably listen to this podcast because it's still kind of culty. East Coast only. And also, this is another thing, and one more artist, in this case, a group of artists, are doing their return to Australia tour. I don't really care for these guys, but 5 Seconds of Summer.
Okay.
They're an Australian band, and they're doing their return to Australia
And they're not
tour.
coming to Perth?
They're not coming to Perth.
They're probably going to Tasmania, but not Perth.
Yeah, pretty much.
With Perth, though, is that lately they've invested so much money into the Optus Stadium, Perth Arena. They've
Yeah,
set up all
right.
these huge, event areas. Nobody uses them. I
We
mean,
work for an events company. We've practically been unemployed.
the only events that happen in Perth is like summer, and that's just
Yeah.
normal, Christmas stuff like that. It's
To fill the gaps, we created a thing called Winterfest where we just put an ice skating ring somewhere new.
and that was the big event in Perth. Like
For all of July-ish. So, sometimes you get a big artist coming to Perth. But really it's, you have to be lucky because all those tickets sell out within the first 2 minutes. And then you've got all the, what's the name for people who go and buy tickets and then resell them? I forget the name.
resellers, scalpers. There you go.
Scalpers are the worst people in Perth. There are so many scalpers in Perth. I tried buying Childish Gambino tickets.
That's right. You had to buy them at a huge
I
markup.
bought 2 tickets, right? And they were more than double the price of what I spent. $450. Worth it.
We know
Hopefully.
for a fact that there are people we know for a fact that Perth sells out. These tickets sell out when there's a
Yeah.
big event. I feel like part of the problem and one of the reasons why people don't come to Perth is probably the shipping costs for just the kit and the gear and the
jeez.
audio equipment and everything.
That's a separate article entirely.
It must be astronomical.
It's crazy how much it costs to ship. You can't even buy things on Amazon because they were like, hey guys, we looked at the shipping costs and you're going to have to practically give us a limb.
It's also all out of the way because if you're talking like an American artist or something, and they come over from America and they do the whole east coast of Australia, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to go to Perth, and then you've got to go back to America.
Yeah.
So you're going to
You've got to go back
to
to the East Coast and then,
And also, another thing which would be an issue for bands and stuff is that if you're touring the East Coast, you can drive that. You can go from top to bottom, and then you can maybe catch a ferry to Tasmania or just loop around to Adelaide. To get to Perth, you have to cross a thing called the Nullarbor.
What's that? Is that a giant bowl of sand?
It's the most deadliest bowl of sand. There is a story which a good old mate of mine used to tell, who used to cross the Nullarbor regularly. There are the road trains that go along the Nullarbor. And what will happen is that cars will be just traveling along the Nullarbor, and then they'll come across 2 road trains. And they've got the car radios and stuff, and you will pull out. You have to communicate to the road trains
I've done
first
this.
of all.
Yeah.
And you have to go, hey, are there any cars coming? Because these things are long,
Yeah.
right? Road trains, it's in the name. And they will make you pull out into oncoming traffic. They won't tell you for ages until they can see a car coming in roughly the near distance. And then you're forced to pull in between the trucks, and they'll try and sandwich you in between the 2 road trains just because it's funny.
I think you're supposed to pull off the road though.
I know, but if you're unlucky,
Oh, yes.
you pull in between the road trains and then you become road train pancake fun.
So what we're saying, and we're going to get to this about our big day out, Perth doesn't have too much going for it.
Yeah. On your stock level, we can sit here and complain about, artists and stuff coming to Perth, but on the basic level, there is not a lot of free, entertaining, fun things that you can just go out and do in Perth unless you've got a football.
Or a surfboard.
Which got us thinking, how many free things could we do in Perth in one day on a Sunday? Say, I don't know, sunrise to sunset, 6 to 6.
About
0.
10 or 12. Well, I think we went through a couple articles and we were like, okay, we'll see what these articles have to say about free things in Perth. And most of them went to about 10 or 12, I think.
Yeah, we got our lead researcher on this, Emily Plester. She found a few, it was like a list of 9 locations that we ended up going to, all around Perth. We packed up our camera crew. Someone forgot to pack Luke.
Yep.
Sorry, Luke.
He was in the boot. We just forgot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I totally knew that's what the knocking from my sub was. But anyway, what you're about to witness is a lot of things going wrong. A lot of things that we thought were going to be better, not going to plan.
Nothing went to plan.
We nearly jumped off a cliff.
You nearly jumped off a cliff.
It all kind of comes to a head at the end, and we're going to have probably nearly a 25-minute full version of this
Up on the website.
Or on YouTube. It might be a little longer, might be a little shorter, and we're going to roll you guys an audio friendly version of this for our listeners, and so that you guys, the viewers, can also kind of follow along as well. Check it out afterwards, please do. This is our big day out.
Where are we, Alan?
Borogoon, mate.
Where are we?
We're in Borogoon.
In lovely Perth.
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Perth, the city we call home, renowned for being one of the most bland places on the face of this earth. Or is it?
Our team at North Metro Now devised a plan to find out in the most scientific way possible. One day, 9 locations, 5 crew members. No one knew what they were getting themselves into.
Come on.
How do you feel about this Ellie shoot, Connor?
With the power of Game City Cafe. Is it actually 6?
No, it's not 6 yet. You said 5:30.
Did I?
Yeah. Everyone else is getting here at 6.
Well, we've got a big day ahead of us. So, I guess it makes sense.
What are we doing today?
What aren't we doing today is the question.
We're doing as much free shit in Perth as we possibly can.
Asterisks. We might run out of free shit to do in Perth.
We've only got one day, and I think there's about 3/4 of a day's worth of free shit to do in Perth.
It's a Sunday, so there's not a lot of stuff on.
Yeah.
But we're gonna try. We've loaded up some GoPros. We've loaded up on caffeine.
We've had 4 hours sleep.
It's a bad idea getting drunk last night.
We're ready to go.
Enthusiasm behind us, we set course for location 1.
Yeah, we're all not gonna make this corner. This is the reason why you need to get, mate.
As the cameras started rolling and the crew kicked into action, we thought we should actually figure out what the hell we were going to do all day.
We're going to Perth Airport. We're going fishing. Playing golf at the Botanical Gardens.
Well, we're going to try.
We're going to try.
We're not necessarily allowed to. I know a place we can eat today. Don't worry, I'm free. I got that sorted.
Where's that at?
Don't worry, I know some people. It's healthy.
I don't like healthy food.
No, but trust me, you'll like this food. Jumping off a cliff.
Yep.
Oh, Tai Chi.
Tai Chi. Are we doing yoga?
Yeah, and we're gonna get hepatitis.
Excuse me? I lived in Gosnell, so I already got that. Why are we getting hepatitis?
Because we're going to the Elizabeth Quay water playground.
Oh, dude. We should have bought bathers.
Oh, you'll be fine. Just do it in what you're wearing. We're going to save so much money from today. I'll just buy you a towel. So I'll be rich after today.
Yeah, after spending fuel money?
No, I drive a diesel, so I don't have to use that much.
Your mindset with a diesel is like, my diesel has infinite fuel.
It does. I haven't fueled it up since I bought it.
This thing's pure 100% clean energy.
Nothing comes out of the back of it but clean air. And baby seals. Oh look, it's our first plane! I've got a point, I spotted it first.
Wait, what? What else can I score points on?
Souvenirs is what I'm thinking.
What, just memorabilia?
Yeah, like how many souvenirs can you collect?
There'll be heaps of ECU, I imagine.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's where we're going to score the most amount of points.
With the day's activities ahead of us, it was about time things started going wrong. So they did.
Okay. No entry.
So there's an opening time
Yeah.
at 7:30.
What time's it now?
7:25.
We have to leave here by 8.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's fine, we get half an hour.
Cool. So warm and toasty in here.
It's European.
What are we doing?
Well, currently at Perth, just outside Perth Domestic Airport at the viewing platform.
And what are we going to be viewing?
The only thing that happens at airports, which is planes.
Drug bus?
Once the plane took off before our very eyes, we became somewhat bored.
The next stop is Northbridge Piazza for Tai Chi at 9.
How do you do Tai Chi?
It's like a whole heap of breathing shit.
Maybe we should practice
I was
Tai Chi
Googling
now.
this. It's just, no, that's not Tai Chi. That's
With the
not
noises.
Tai Chi.
Fire. Wind.
Sand.
That's not. It was now time for our convoy to gracefully exit the viewing area.
Alright, gents.
Where to now?
I don't know.
I think we're doing Tai Chi now.
It was now time for us to leave in the traditional Perth fashion.
We've got a really tight schedule today, boys.
At only an hour and a half in, we already started running out of in-car entertainment.
What about Spotto?
Spotto?
Yeah.
Like I Spy?
No, like personal number plates.
Yeah.
Or Punch Buggy?
I'll just punch you while you're driving. You can't punch back because you're driving manual.
Before our in-car banter became a bit too personal, we arrived in the heart of Perth, and we didn't quite know what to expect next.
Okay. Location 2.
Because this is the way people in Northbridge wake up.
www.northbridgeroadnow.com.
Sure enough, out emerged some of the traditional Perth inhabitants, and they seem like some of the loveliest non-violent street folk in the world.
I'm not going there. Oh no. I'm going home.
And yes, indeed, it was time for Dome. Our brains racked after our dangerous encounters. It was now time to recap on the day thus far.
What time is it, Connor?
It is 20 to 9.
What are we doing?
Buying more coffee.
Sick of spending money, it was now time for me to actually start making a bit of money off this endeavor.
It's not free.
Is it not?
So this is one of the greatest things you can do in Perth. At Dome, colouring in. It's a highlight of the Sundays in Perth. We come here every morning. Every morning we do colouring in as a bonding exercise as a group.
Daddy, I want my baby Chino.
As a family, we headed over to the next location, but there was an issue. Here at Northbridge Piazza, where there were supposed to be Tai Chi classes on a Sunday, according to websites, but unfortunately, nobody's here except some people that
You can do karate or some MMA if you really wanted to. Some below the belt boxing.
Should we ask those people over there? But we're going to try and do Tai Chi here anyway. Should we Google Tai Chi poses?
Emily's got it. She's going to teach us.
At this stage, somewhat bored, we even came up with a few of our own Tai Chi poses.
Oh, this is so calming already. Really relaxed. Wow, this is really therapeutic.
With Tai Chi proving less educational than we first thought, we decided we were bored enough to leave Northbridge.
Yeah.
What do you rate this car park?
It's one of the cheaper ones.
With our wallets slightly more empty, we headed to Elizabeth Quay.
It's key.
Quay.
Key.
Quay.
Key.
We arrived just in time for our next challenge.
It's pretty early on in the day, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're all pretty dry right now. Person who gets the wettest here by vote gets the point. So they get 3 points. You're already just taking off your clothes. I should have worn shorts, man.
Bailey and I took off to the Hepatitis Water Park ahead of the group. Sure enough, the park stopped its water playground display as soon as we got there, which made our challenge a little more boring than what we first thought it was going to be.
With some ingenuity and cunning at hand, I came up with a plan.
Alright, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I win?
No. Alan wins. No. He won. Really cold, man. Why did I do that? Alan's got the point.
Next up, the restaurant. We're behind schedule.
Alright, let's go.
Let's go.
Looking ahead, we could almost smell the Hare Krishna veganism. Until more things went wrong.
The Hare Krishna place is closed.
So that's the Tai Chi.
Tai Chi wasn't on.
Water park was disappointing.
The water park wouldn't turn on when we were there.
And now this place is closed.
And the airport was pretty underwhelming too.
Perth, ladies and gentlemen.
Today isn't going well.
No. To the next one!
No, we'll see when this place opens.
Before boredom set in, we swiftly got out of Elizabeth Quay. Quay.
That was unsuccessful.
Well, I got some points.
Souvenir. Should we wait a little bit for them?
Yeah.
Now, things hadn't been going wrong for a little while, so it was about time they started going even more wrong.
It spat her card out.
It spat it out.
Declined it.
Oh, did it?
This is just going so well.
Our car decided that the only thing that we could do at this stage was continue on solo, while Emily had her car broken free.
So we've lost Emily and Bailey. We're on our way to Kings Park. We're already pretty behind on schedule. And now the GoPros are failing on us. Today's just going great. I'm so tired right now.
As the view from the Swan started to distract us from the fact we had lost half of our convoy, we started getting trivial.
Do you want to know an interesting fact, guys? See all the signs in front of the trees? Each sign states a different thing you can't do in Perth.
Yeah, that's the way we came as well. I turned right and then you just follow this like long street down. It's a 40 area. Yeah, alright, cool. Yeah, do you want to scratch it from the list?
I mean, we're here now.
I feel like a lot of people are at Kings Park today.
No, I feel like this isn't Kings Park.
No, it is. We're coming up to the lookout now. There's not going to be any parking, and when we do find it, we're going to have to walk quite a far way. Look, what's the next location? Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, we'll go to ECU.
Okay.
You know which turnoff is for ECU, yeah?
No.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
reason why I'm doing this, is so I can figure out more about Perth. And so far what I've figured out is that it's boring
And expensive.
and closed.
Yeah.
But hopefully going to an
Turn
open
right
day.
up here. Is right at these lights. ECU? So, do you want to meet up there? Yeah. Love you. Bye.
Who is that, Alan?
That was Bailey.
So Alan, what are we doing now?
We are going to ECU to check out some courses for ourselves, check out the open day, check out what they've got on offer here. We're mainly focused on the WA Screen Academy, I think. Although,
Gee, why are we focused on that, huh?
we want to be unemployed for the rest of our lives. That's
I can't even get you in focus,
It's on
how?
autofocus.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's not auto-focusing.
it's on autofocus. You tap.
Being fresh-faced TAFE students, we immediately had no idea how to handle ourselves around a university. So after meeting up with Emily and Bailey again, I hatched an idea.
Botanical Gardens.
Yes, Bonnaroo.
Oh, well,
So, like-
if you didn't go to the ECU Open Day and didn't film a montage, did you really go to ECU Open Day?
Oh, one time, I'm not using it together.
Montage. Well, that was interesting.
It certainly was.
I'm gonna take this bag off my head now.
Cut short for timing, but having made ourselves rich with ECU souvenirs, we decided to treat ourselves.
Water. Oh, Jesus.
Hi, can I help?
G'day. Can I get a 6 McNugget meal? So much for a free day out.
Yeah.
Having feasted righteously on diabetic money, we found ourselves dropping in and out of self-induced food comas for the rest of the trip towards the Botanic Gardens. This, however, meant getting to Wanneroo felt like it happened in no time. And unexpectedly, I got to make friends with a dog's head. And once Alan got our GoPros working, our attention was drawn back to the non-existent schedule.
We were behind schedule before, but now it's like desperately behind schedule. We gotta go to Fremantle after this, catch a fish, ride a bike, and we gotta go to IKEA, and we gotta jump off a cliff.
The botanical gardens were green and luscious, but staring at plants all day kinda made us a bit bored.
Here at Botanical Gardens, we like keeping you in. This is why we barbed wire the holes in the
I'm going through
fence.
it.
Really, no, bad idea.
There's actually one. There's
Down,
there's one
bad.
of these over there.
Trying to avoid filming kids.
For some reason, kids like playing mini golf. So because we didn't want to get thrown out for filming our little experiment, we had to find another way of teeing off. Which is why I came prepared.
He's just gonna leave me here. The fuck?
Oh, IKEA.
It's just down the freeway.
Progressing forward from our previous failures, we looked optimistically to salvaging whatever we could from the rest of the day's journey.
And whatever was going through our sleep-deprived minds, we settled on IKEA. And now, one scraping the bottom of the barrel. IKEA.
Oh, Bailey's
Step in front of me.
Oh, Bailey, where did you come from?
IKEA.
IKEA.
That's where the magic happens. This is my robe. Yeah. It's pretty cool. The wild alley. And just we will now approach him with caution. I like this kitchen, man.
Also,
And we got a bit lost.
There's one thing IKEA bags are good for.
it's killing you, so.
The one thing Bailey wanted was Swedish meatballs, and they're $10. And we went, no Bailey, and now he's really sad.
It then dawned on us that IKEA is somewhat boring. So we smuggled out some souvenirs and we're on our way.
Because what we need to do in Frio is ride a bike, catch a fish, and fly a kite.
This way!
Alright, set.
What did you think of that?
Is interesting.
How'd you enjoy IKEA?
I don't know why we did IKEA, man. IKEA's a Swedish thing.
Because it's free.
Good point.
It's one of the only free things to do in Perth, apart from kick a footy or play cricket. Or go surfing.
Why didn't we do any of that?
Because we don't own a surfboard. Having lost our sense of humours, we headed into Fremantle.
And paid for more fucking parking.
What are we doing here, Connor? In lovely Fremantle.
Riding a bike.
Flying a kite.
I want to ride my bicycle.
Where the fuck did you go?
So Bailey, there's no such place as Gesha Coffee. Can go past it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little photo.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
That's a podcast reference.
Right. Yeah, it is. Episode 1.
Doctor.
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 Doctor. I get a point for that.
No, you don't.
I get a point for that.
With fatigue setting in, we were forced to change our plans again.
All our plans have just changed on us last second because...
Planning. Originally, there's a bike hire place in Fremantle
That you can do for free.
before 3 p.m. But we got here late, so they're closed now.
But we found a legal loophole.
We're going to be hiring a bike.
No, we're just gonna be on a bike.
We're just going to
That's
be on
all.
a bike.
That's all the audience have to know.
Okay. Scratch the last part. We're going to be on a bike. And then after that quick little bike around Fremantle, we're going to be rushing off to Point Walter, jumping off a cliff, and ending the day fishing. So, come along.
Gather around.
After being forced to walk all the way across the city of Fremantle, something finally went right on our adventure. Or did it?
And now zoom out to depressing reality.
It's reality. Disappointed with reality and desperate for something to go right, Connor decided to MacGyver himself a kite with ECU scraps and didn't look like an idiot.
What's he doing?
Bailey, I've noticed something. You really like rubbing up against other men.
When you jump on my back, jump on my back. Don't like twist your pelvis around to my
I have
side.
to, otherwise I
and
fall.
hump me like a poodle.
I fall down.
And finally, bored of Fremantle, we set course for our final location.
To recap, we thought things would get better in Fremantle.
You thought it would be so much better.
We just came from IKEA. I got really excited to ride a bike.
And sure enough, that was closed.
It was broken. We flew a kite. That was the most exciting part.
That was the most successful part of this entire endeavor. I MacGyvered a kite out of ECU scraps and a chopstick.
Which, I mean, if you're going to take anything away from today, it's that if you set your mind to it, you can do anything. Including waste a day driving around Perth.
What would you rate your day?
I would rate it a 7 out of 10.
I'd rate it Perth out of 10.
Yeah, actually, like I'll give some people credit who move here. People from like the UK, they just want like nice beaches. But
there are people from UK who are so just done with their lives. They want to move to the most mind-numbing place in the world.
Some people find Perth interesting.
Perth bashing aside, we suddenly realised we were about to jump off a cliff. So we thought we should put some research into it.
When you hit the water, stretch your legs and arms out and arch your back. This will keep you from going too deep into the water.
Wait, say that again. How high is this cliff? 10 meters.
10 meters.
That's not that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we'll get it on camera.
What's an Olympic dive?
There are people who've like driven their cars off this cliff.
What? Give you $50 if you drive off the cliff.
Don't tempt me, Alan.
Stare straight ahead, don't look down.
Now you're just giving me a pep talk. Is it still alive?
What's the chance of us wanting, like one of us getting serious injured here? You have to go into the water before us and check the diving levels.
Me?
Yeah.
Why me?
At this stage, walking to the cliff, everyone was over the day. And then we got to the cliff.
With the sun setting, the day over, and the beautiful sights of Point Walter ahead of us, we then decided to have an argument.
This is what today's been leading up to, is jumping off the cliff.
Yeah, but I wasn't fully aware that
I'd rather not today
people
leading
died
up
here.
to your death. Water is shallow as fuck.
How do you know? Because I can see it.
You can see it. Where the black is, that's where the tide normally is. It's receded quite a bit. Okay, we all realise that Connor's the person that doesn't take no for an answer here, right?
I'm not saying I want to jump off the cliff.
Dude,
Plans change, man.
like this whole day.
Yeah, but people
Get a nice
constantly
time lapse
jump
of the
off
sun
here.
setting.
Yeah,
If it sets
and they
here, which it
also
doesn't.
probably constantly die and break
We've
their
kind of
bones.
already missed the sunset.
We have work and TAFE and like people that care about us.
Would you guys be sad if I died?
No.
This is.
I think you're
Like shit.
way overblowing this.
See, I'd happily die right now, but like pain.
Spray paint.
Flowers. The lady.
The tide is low.
And the lady.
And the rocks, like, it's just a
I
bad,
think
it's a
you'll find
bad
it.
fucking omen, man.
This carried on for a little while. And then we realised.
3, 2, 1.
Sure, Perth might be boring, it might have nothing to do, and everything might be expensive. But we have some lovely freeways, some lovely McDonald's restaurants, some lovely beaches, and some cliffs that you shouldn't jump off.
Our big day out wasn't all about jumping off a cliff at the end of the day. It was about seeing how much fun we could legitimately have in Perth for free. And yeah, we spent a lot of money. We went to a lot of places that were boring. But you know what we realized about our hometown? Not a lot of interesting things happened. And yet still, we were able to bond over absolutely nothing. And isn't that something special? Being friends in the most boring place in the world. Isolation can kill a man. But when you have friendship, us as a team, as North Metro now, who cares about the souvenirs? Who cares about the fuel prices? Who cares whether Gene Simmons is coming to your country? Friendship. It will survive Perth.
I suppose it was now just time to close off the day.
So, today wasn't really...
As expected. Or planned.
What is the list of things we actually did?
We went to Macca's. There you go, have my drove to Perth Airport to watch a plane take off. Drove to Northbridge to do Tai Chi at 9 AM.
Elizabeth Quay.
Yeah, key.
And we played in the water fountain, the hepatitis one. Successfully found the Hare Krishna place.
It was closed.
Then we went back, spent more money on parking.
Yep.
Went to Kings Park.
lost the camera car,
Couldn't find any parking. Ran out of time.
but we did get to see the boathouse.
We did.
And we got to see the man in the middle of the Swan River.
Yeah. That's what made Kings Park worth it.
Then what did we do?
Went to ECU for the open day.
And we successfully made a montage.
Then we went to the Botanical Gardens in Wanneroo, which is a golf course, and unfortunately we couldn't smuggle in our golf club.
I successfully teed off in front of the mini golf place though.
Which we are counting as a success. Then, on our way back to Frio, we stopped off at IKEA. Good look at some of the Swedish merchandise on offer.
Get my meatballs.
We didn't get any meatballs.
No, but gloss over that. You're being negative. Shut up, Bailey.
I didn't get my meatballs, damn it.
Then,
Oh, wait. Plane.
End the day, start the day.
Frio, you know, that's where it's at in Perth. That's where all the activities are.
And we successfully rode a bike.
We did. It was locked in a booth where you can hire these bikes.
But all three of us made it onto the bike.
We did successfully sit on the bike and pedal it in one place without moving.
As a group.
Because the machine was broken.
Spent more money on parking there.
We spent a little money on parking.
Then we came here, thinking that we were going to jump off a cliff.
And then some signs and forewarnings told us.
And some rest in pieces and some flowers later. We then ended up deciding to not jump off a cliff but roll down a hill instead.
Yeah, and we're going to end it off with just a peaceful, relaxing fishing session.
Can I just say, looking back on it, with all that we've achieved, is Perth a boring place?
Fuck yeah, it is.
I think that, yeah, it is.
If you have money.
I agree.
You need a car and you need a wallet full of cash to enjoy anything here, or you need to find some event that's free, if that even exists.
Or you have a hobby.
Or
you just play some footy.
Or guys, and I think you're forgetting this is an option. You can head down to Game City Cafe, sponsoring us with 10 VR headsets. And with that, back to the studio.
So, as the listeners and viewers could probably tell, nothing really went to plan.
No.
We all got.
I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
We all got very exhausted.
My
very
back's
depressed.
cut from
We also
going
got
under
quite
the
angry
thing.
with each other.
Well, yeah, we started getting.
We didn't talk to each other for a week after this.
Yeah, I had to have a break
legit.
from.
We literally. This is the
no.
first time we've sort of had a conversation all together.
I saw Jack at the TV show that we do, and I remember like him just walking away. So like we've been friends for how long? Like
6 years.
6 years, and I saw him, and he just went, "Geez, this dude! Wow."
It wasn't that. It was more like I was still a bit heated, and I said hello or whatever, and once the show was over, I left.
This is what Perth does to friendships. When you try and get something out of Perth, it destroys you.
We also all got hepatitis.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel my skin getting
Yeah,
itchy
like
every
my
single day.
back and shit, you know.
But we've mainly grouped here now, all kind of battered and bruised. One thing I wanted to discuss were the points, because that's the most important thing. I brought all my souvenirs.
Unfortunately, I didn't play this game. So
You totally played along. You were playing when you were winning, and then as soon as you stopped winning, you realized, oh, I'm going to stop playing this. But in my ECU bag, I've brought all my souvenirs. Do you guys have your souvenirs on you?
No, we forgot.
Oh.
Emily stole mine.
Honestly, like, in terms of Bailey forgetting his souvenirs, that's my fault. That's on me. So
Get
please,
out,
like,
Emily.
Jesus.
I'm
You're
just
letting down the
unorganized.
North Metro Now team. You've done nothing for us. Nothing, I say.
well, see how
actually,
well you
no.
do it.
Yeah, okay, good point. I'll pull out some of the souvenirs for you guys. You guys can sort of memorabilia-ize these. We've got the kite there. I reckon we have some of these sitting on the desk as we go throughout the next episodes. This is the booklet from ECU Open Day. Does
What have you
anyone
done
want-
to it?
Oh,
the page is ripped out of it because it's the kite.
Ah,
that part.
okay. Yeah.
I gave you that booklet because you were interested in Whopper.
Yeah, and all the Whopper stuff is still in there. I tore out the most uninteresting page, which is probably something to do with accounting or...
No, because it's arts and humanities.
It's the back one telling you like the terms and conditions of applying to ECU.
Yeah, you see, I don't need that.
Yes, you do.
This, I stole out of a fridge at IKEA.
Oh my god.
So we can keep that somewhere.
We haven't explained, but we're collecting souvenirs for points. So whoever collected the most
it'll be
free
in-
things.
It'll be in the
technically
audio
not
cut.
free. That's like actually stealing.
No,
Like,
it's not.
No,
it was
it's
just a bit of
not.
cardboard.
Same as your yellow bag that you've got in there.
That's from JB Hi-Fi.
I'll get to that.
No, it's not.
I'll get to that.
Oh,
That's an IKEA bag.
This is the crossword that we were doing, the colouring in from...
Alan didn't keep his and he won.
I'd like to explain this. I've done some nice... a portrait of us after playing in the Elizabeth Quay playground. As you can see, we're all nice and
Colour
yellow.
that in
And,
before you did Elizabeth Quay.
yeah, but it was...
It's after.
It was
Like-
my look into the future is what it was. And then as you can see on the back, I know what a poodle is because I did the little crossover
Is that
word stuff.
Your level of education that you're... This is your primary school.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
This is what I learned at TAFE.
This is how you learnt to write.
This is the most I've learned this year. So we can have that sitting here as well. What else have we got in here? Oh, I got a pamphlet for Everlasting Love. I think you need that one, Alan.
Thank you.
We've got a map of Perth, which Bailey...
That one's gone in the bin.
Yeah, thank you.
There's no bin there.
We've got another booklet from ECU that can go back there.
We'll just say right now, for the people watching the actual Big Day Out episode, you'll find this out. But the most successful part of the day was the ECU Open Day.
Oh yeah,
We didn't record really anything there except for a little montage.
And we're only there for half an hour.
And
or
me
an
and
hour.
Emily couldn't find you guys.
You guys couldn't
for
find
half an
us.
hour.
I would
But
like
we
to
found someone
actually
else, so-
counterpoint the most successful part of the day was my kite.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
No.
I was able to MacGyver. Well, what was the most successful part of the day then, Emily?
When we got to go home.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was a
pretty
good
successful.
part.
That was, yeah, that was...
The fishing was fun.
We didn't catch any
we
fish.
didn't catch
Yeah,
any
it
fish.
still was fun though.
Jack
And
caught
we
his
were
hand.
Catch any
happy.
fish. You won't actually see this in the audio cut or the full cut because I couldn't include it. We didn't catch any fish, and then we broke 2 of the fishing rods.
And Jack
Did
caught
we?
his
Like-
hand
but-
over.
Literally.
Okay, but the reason why the fishing part was the most successful, because that was the bit that we were the happiest at. We were chilled and happy that
I
the
don't know.
day was done and we got to
Yeah.
relax. Like,
Actually, you
that
know
makes
what?
it the most successful.
I do agree with Emily on this part. We were just sitting there, chilling out, after all the adrenaline had reached up to like you know when you're so just pumped that you can feel it in
It's
the
like
back
it's
of your
gone up
throat.
here, you know.
Yeah,
like-
it went further than that. And I was just so ready to just snap, and then we started
Like,
fishing,
The
and I
thing
chilled
about
out.
these free activities is that it's probably not the best idea to rush them. Like you should do things slowly and take your time and enjoy the moment rather than
doubt.
like quick, we've got to go to the next place. Like otherwise it's
Like
just
IKEA.
Yeah.
It felt like everyone in IKEA just wanted to get out.
Well, I wanted to stay and get my meatballs, but they were fucking $11.
Language.
True, that was kind of sad.
How much money did we spend on the Big Day Out? Which was supposedly supposed to be a
spent
free
$24
exercise.
in one car park because the boom gate lowered back onto her and she had to pay it again.
I think I had the biggest expense of the day.
Oh yeah, the GoPro case.
We realized that one of our GoPros wasn't compatible with the GoPro cases that we brought with us.
How much did that cost?
I've got a receipt. I do.
Is that one of your freebies?
This is one of my
Does it count?
souvenirs, actually. From JB Hi-Fi, the GoPro Super Suit, $79.
Content.
And I think with that $79 plus parking,
Yep.
which was $8 in one location, $11 in another location, and what was it in Fremantle? I spent like $3-4 on
Me and
parking
Em
there.
paid nothing in Fremantle.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
free
because
tickets.
you guys
Ah.
didn't park on the street like I did.
Yeah, you should have gone into the car park and pressed the ticket button. It gives you a free ticket for a whole hour of parking.
Which I thought we were going to be there for longer than an hour, and then
Well, I
all
was
our
basing
plans
it off
changed
the
at the very
timetable
last second.
and how we had to rush things.
Then we also had McDonald's that we bought because we couldn't eat
Like
in
a
Hare
lot of
Krishna place.
McDonald's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, we had it for breakfast. We had it for lunch. Do we have it for dinner?
No, I
think
didn't
it's
stop at
heavily
my Mac's
featured.
or
I-
something.
You guys had it for dinner, didn't
I
you?
ended up ordering Uber Eats
There you
later.
go.
So then there's a delivery.
Yeah, I think I
fee
got
on
a
top of
pizza.
that. So I spent more than $100.
I think
For a free day out.
I think we
for a
all
free
did.
day out.
Well, not we all,
Well,
but like
you spent
each
nothing.
car. Yeah, each car spent like over $100.
So what we can gather from this, as we've said in the audio piece that we just played, as we said in the clip, Perth, expensive.
Yeah.
Don't come here.
And also, Perth article writers who feature these free things to do, can you please update your website?
Oh yeah.
Tai Chi does not.
Tai Chi doesn't exist. I'm questioning whether Tai Chi is actually a real thing.
Guys, we should start our own like Tai Chi lesson.
Don't say that. Don't say that. It would actually be
sponsored
done.
by Game City, and Emily can host it, and she can do the thing, and I'll hit you in the nuts again.
I reckon you're onto something. We can make back some of the money because we'll charge for it like everyone else in Perth does as well.
Yeah.
You need a license for that.
No,
Do
it's
you?
all right.
I think
A car
so.
license?
Under the
Or a
table.
Tai Chi license?
No,
Under
like
the
an
table.
ABN kind of deal.
No, under the
Because you
table.
got to do like taxes and shit.
Under the table.
Anyway, we can talk about this for ages more, but I think
have to go to class.
Yeah, you have to go to class. I'm gonna pull up the information that we've got for our next episode.
Ooh.
Okay, we're gonna have the music playing us out, and
Are we?
it's time for us to depart. Sadly, what have we learnt today?
To move to Melbourne.
Move to Melbourne. What have you learnt, Emily?
Give up on doing activities in Perth.
Jack, what did you learn from today's episode?
Just move away from Perth.
Yeah.
A lot of the consensus is move. Luke, did you learn anything different?
No, I've been checked out of the show for the whole time. So.
Oh, well, at least he's
Sweet.
honest.
Yeah. He's the most honest person we got here. Bailey, have you learnt anything from today?
I'm 13 minutes late for class.
Great. I learned that Bailey is 13 minutes late for class. We got to get going now, that means. So you can check out everything that we've discussed, highlights from this episode and our other two on our website, www.northmetronow.com. Next week, we're hopefully going to have... I want to get an interview with Famous Sharon. I met Famous Sharon for the first time.
Are we doing the...
No.
I really want to get an interview with
Are
Famous
me and
Sharon.
Emily doing the Coke taste?
Yeah, we're going to have that. Don't spoil it too much. We're also going to have...
The final information on the locker hunt.
Yep, and we're going to also hopefully have another pre-record, which we're going to try and sort out with... I don't want to spoil who it is.
No,
So,
I don't think we should give anything away there. It's going to be a big surprise.
we might not have organised anything. Who knows?
That's
the audience...
part of the reason.
That's most likely.
Anyway, as before, I'm Connor McBride.
I'm Alan Milne.
I'm Bailey Harrington, and this is North Metro now.
Good night, Australia.
Whoa.